Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Very excited to have things happening today. I am your co-host, Mr. Steven Boster, along with my illustrious co-host, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom land.
All right. Now, if you listen to our voices, we have been under the weather. Excuse me, that cough was not planted, I swear. So we're going to be drinking a lot of water and stuff like we're going through it today. Mike, how are you feeling today?
Okay. Yeah, like you said, my voice isn't 100% there. I've been coughing pretty much all week, and yeah, I'm a little drained. But other than that, I'm ready to talk some Boba Fett.
Right on, right on. Well, we've been under the weather at my household, and I've been coughing so much that I've lost my voice and it's come back. So I got somebody said, Steven, you got this cool Barry White thing going on.
Hey, maybe it'll get our ratings up.
All right. Hello, Mando. How are you doing today?
At least you get the cool Barry Weiss voice. I don't think I got anything cool going for my voice. So
it's all right. It's all good. It's all good, man. All right. Well, hey everybody, we're here to talk about Boba Fett, episode 4. And I am enjoying the series. And so everybody, here's what we do. We normally go through where we'll be like, hey, we'll give our ratings, and then try to do non-spoilery kind of stuff at the beginning. But then we move into spoilery territory. So our spoilerific section, because that's really what we do. We just talk spoilers, talk through the episode and stuff. So we try to give fair warning and stuff about that. So all right, so let's start off with kind of our overview about it. And Mike, what are your thoughts on this one? I'll let you go first because you went first last time too. I think you were excited.
I should be really excited about this episode too. I really like this episode a lot. One of the things that I had called on in one of our previous episodes happens in this episode, so I'm happy for that.
Okay, cool.
We get some more setup in this one,
right?
Which I think is cool. We get probably the greatest scene so far in the Book of Boba Fett. Holy
we're
cow.
all under medication, everybody. Just ignore it.
Yeah, right. Sorry about that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, in my opinion, probably one of the best scenes we've had yet so far. I won't talk about it yet because it's kind of
spoilery.
Yeah, it's spoilery.
Okay.
So
all right.
I do have a couple complaints, and it has to do with the Transoceans.
Okay.
I just want to ask Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, where the heck are you? Where the heck are your heads? What are you not paying attention to Star Wars? Come on, guys.
Oh, you get a little feisty.
Right, I'm getting a little feisty. But other than that, I love this episode. I thought it was great.
Okay,
good.
What's your score?
Oh shoot, I'm a little afraid to give out what. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 slave ones.
Okay. All right. We did get a lot of slave one action in this one. I kind of excited about it. Okay. This episode was okay. It was not bad. I think there's a lot of hidden stuff in this episode. I think for fans, there were some good parts to it. And you know, I enjoyed it. I guess in my brain, I've got this expectation, and I probably shouldn't, but you know, it seems like each episode's been building, and I loved episode 3. Episode 3 was just incredible for me. And so I was kind of hoping to get the same kind of experience, that it would just kick it up a notch. And while it was good, I'll give it 4 out of 5 Slave Ones. While it was good, I think it did a lot more setting up for our, how many episodes are in the series?
I think 7.
7? Okay. I think it's setting up. I think we're seeing the last of the back to tank flashbacks, and now we're moving forward. And I think all of this episode is kind of like the middle linchpin of saying, okay, now we're transitioning and we're moving into the rest of what this story is.
Current time. Right.
Current time. Yeah. Wait, I like how you said that. Yeah. So I where we're headed is, we've done the past. How did he get to where he was? We've connected with where he was at Mandalorian, where we see in Mandalorian.
Right.
So anyway, so all I was saying was that the transitioning from, we've gone from how Boba Fett got to this point, you know, the whole Sarlaac pit, Tuscan Raiders, now to this point. Now this is the episode where we kind of get worth seeing the events of Mandalorian kind of occur in, you know, in the background things, and then we come full forward and stuff.
Yeah. I think we've gotten a good background on him. We've learned how he survived the Sarlaac pit. We've learned what he has been doing in the meantime. Right, with the fact that the Tuscan Raiders do end up taking him in, and actually as part of his tribe. And we see how he's gotten to where he is today at this current moment, with the Tuscan tribe being wiped out, and, you know, essentially his only family, you know, getting wiped out. So we get his feelings to this point. So yeah, I think they've done a good job at telling those stories. And at this point now we just move forward. So yeah, I think you're right. I think we're done with the back to tank, and we're done with the memories. Because I mean, at this point, the only kind of memories we can have would be stuff from his youth, you know, which I don't see them doing at this point. I don't see that happening, especially with one of the lines that we got in the beginning of this episode. So, yeah, I think they closed out that chapter. So,
right. So
I think we are moving forward.
We are moving forward. Yes. So, hey, just a comment from last week that came to mind. You know, we talked about back to tank, and remember how the Gamorrean guard got hurt? And I thought it was really cool how Boba Fett was like, hey, get him to my back to tank. Yeah. You know, that's cool leadership and stuff like that. But then I got to thinking, wait a minute. You guys have to use the mouthpiece. Gross. Do you have like a switch out mouthpieces or something? Because yuck.
That's a good point. I never thought of that.
Right.
I'm going to assume they switch it out.
I only say that because I've got sleep apnea. So I've got one of those machines, you know.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of what it looks like, too.
Right. It does, doesn't it? That's what I thought. So,
yeah.
You know, I love my wife. She has one, too. I love her, too. But I don't know if I want to switch masks back and forth.
Right. So you wouldn't want to switch with a big pig thing?
No, your slobber's everywhere. Right. Excuse me. That's right. So
you can't help it. He's got a big upper bite. What?
That's pretty good. That's a good one. I like that. He's got a big upper bite. All right. So, hey, everybody. So we both gave 4 out of 5 Slave One ships, which I thought was apropos because this is how he gets back his Slave One ship, which I was glad that we have this story. Because I wondered.
Should we give the spoiler alert?
Yes. Spoilers. Spoiler territory, everybody. We're moving into spoilers. Let me move into, spoiler talk happening now.
All right. So yes, I said what last episode, I think it was. I want to see where the parking spot for the Slave One.
Yes.
And yes, I am calling it the Slave One. I don't care what Disney says. It is the Slave One. It's been Slave One for 40 years, and I will call it the Slave One. Did you know that the Slave One got its name from a contest that George Lucas had on set?
So, no,
yeah, he did a contest to name the ship through the crew. I don't remember exactly how it all went, but yeah, he had some kind of contest, and they all submitted their ideas for the name of Boba Fett's ship. And somebody came up with the idea of Slave One, and that's how it's named.
Right.
Also, another fun fact about the Slave One: the ship is actually modeled off of a street lamp. George Lucas got his idea from a street lamp to create the look of the Slave One, just like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
there's a great story on how the Millennium Falcon he came up with the idea at a burger joint, and it's a burger with an olive on the side.
Okay. All right. Yeah. How interesting is that?
Fun facts. Slave One and Millennium Falcon. Fun facts. So,
are those fun facts or those urban legends? Those sound like urban legends to me.
No, those are fun facts. Those are facts.
Okay.
I've been studying Star Wars a long time, so.
Yes, you have, by golly. Yes, you have.
Those are
all right. Well, let's talk about favorite stuff from the episode. So,
Slave One.
Right on. I was really glad to see how we got the ship back where it was, and it makes sense. It was in Jabba's palace or in the hangar because, I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. I will say I loved Fennec Shan's little device, that little thing that went through and mapped out the whole area. I'm like, that is like the coolest Star Wars tech I have seen to date.
Well, now that's a callback to episode 1 with Maul. Darth Maul used a very similar little probe droid thing in Phantom Menace also, which it's a cool scene. I love that.
I don't remember that scene.
Yeah. I had a T-shirt with Darth Maul and him holding that little device too. His was a little bit bigger than what Fennec Shan uses. Fennec Shan's was tiny, but his was more palm sized, and hers is like, finger size.
His was more thermal detonator size than or practice droid size rather than the
right. Yeah.
Like golf ball size.
Yeah, his was a little bit more like the practice droid that Luke is using on the Falcon. Hey, let's bring up Brian's comment real quick.
Hey, Brian, welcome.
Good morning, Brian. Glad you could join us, buddy. So Brian commented they had to change the design of the ship of the Falcon last minute because it originally looked too much like the ship on Space 1999. Yes, he is absolutely correct. The Falcon was originally supposed to be the Tantive 4. It was supposed to look like the Tantive 4 was, but they were afraid that it looked too much like the Eagle 1, I believe it's called, on the television series Space 1999, which was in production, it was airing at the time that George Lucas was developing Star Wars.
Interesting.
So they changed the look of the Falcon. Now, the funny thing is they still ended up using that ship as the Tantive 4, which is Princess Leia's ship.
Oh.
And honestly, I don't think they look that much. I mean, there's a similarity in the two, but I never thought they looked that close. I'm a big fan of the look of the Eagle ship from from Space 1999, by the way. Sorry, I am tripping all over my words this morning.
That's all right. Hey, everybody, we are dedicated, motivated, because we're like we've gone for a year. If you missed our last week's year thing, and we've been consistent, and so I think this is the first time we've been like sick.
Yeah, I agree with you.
In a year, we've both been down.
Honestly, this is the first time in probably 2 years I've really been sick. So
right.
For us to be sick on the show, that's
right. And at the same time, isn't that crazy?
Dude, you gave me a computer virus.
Right. Computer virus. So, okay. So we've talked about the hamburger and olive of the Millennium Falcon. We were talking about this ship. Okay. So we were talking about Slave One and how they found it. We talked about the cool little mapping sphere.
You know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about the fact that we see how Fennec Shan, how Boba Fett saves her and takes her to the mod shop.
Yes.
To get,
I like that.
Yeah, that was interesting. And okay, so you and I just watched Emergency Awesome together, and Emergency Awesome said that he thinks that scene with the mods and everything is a callback to George Lucas's American Graffiti, which, if you're a fan of George Lucas, you know that he came out with American Graffiti before Star Wars. It was actually a big hit. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I think American Graffiti kicked off Happy Days technically. Because if I remember right, Ron Howard was one of the stars of American Graffiti.
Yeah, so was Harrison Ford too.
Right, Harrison Ford, of course.
Yeah, he was making the American Graffiti reference to the bikes that they were.
Right. See, and I disagree with him. I think that's more of the 60s mods versus rockers, which would, call back to the Who, and I mean, not just the Who, but the Who did their album Quadrophenia, which was based on the idea of the mods, which was kind of a 60s English subculture. You had the mods and the rockers, and the mods all drove mopeds with all these mirrors on them. And if you look at their speeder bikes, they very much resemble the mods. So
I thought it was referencing Power Rangers. Just saying. No,
yeah,
I'm teasing.
There's been a lot of people say that too.
Yeah, no,
I mean, that's colors and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see the colors.
And I do not care for the colors on Tatooine. I think it's out of place. I don't get it. But I like the mod shop. I thought the mod shop was kind of cool.
Do you think that's a new concept for Star Wars to a certain degree?
Oh, definitely a new concept.
Because I don't remember. The only thing closest to it was, Luke got a new hand,
Right. Well, Luke got a new hand, and you go back to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I think it was Return of the Jedi when he's talking to Luke as a ghost, Force ghost, and he says, he's more machine than man.
Oh, yeah.
All twisted and evil.
Right.
So, I think you got a culture here. You got a younger culture, because like he says when Boba Fett walks in, aren't you a little old to be in here? So
okay.
It's kind of like
the
anti culture. They're going against what their parents and grandparents believed.
So they're just getting upgrades, not because they need them, because they got a hand chopped off.
No, because they enjoy it. It's more like tattoos.
Right. Which later on we got to get to, because that was one of my other favorite parts of this episode, but we'll get to that. So somebody losing an arm. But anyway, this whole culture, this modding culture coming up, with the young ones, I was interesting. Brian's commenting, everybody. We're taking a look at it real quick. he says, I'll post it. I think I like to think that the mod's speeder scooters were freshly stolen off the back of a transport. That it was just
nice.
using Tatooine as a stopover.
It's not a bad way to look at it, Brian.
I like that.
I like that. Because I still can't get over the colors on Tatooine. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right. It's not. It would not be normal for Tatooine location that what we've come accustomed to. That's neat. I like that. I mean, thought process.
It's almost like if you compare the textures of houses in Florida to the textures of houses in the Midwest.
Oh, even in Montana.
Right.
You got to see the architecture out here is so different than it is in like Kansas City and St. Louis.
Exactly. So, because I remember when we went to Florida, we've seen all the pastel colored houses and stuff. And I'm like, I love Florida, but I hate the color of the houses here. This just drives me insane.
That's funny.
But that's the culture there. That's their culture. And I don't know. I just have an issue with those colorful speeder bikes. It just kind of irks
I liked it. It was just different. It's kind of like this whole mods thing. They're modding themselves.
Right.
I'm like, okay, this is new, but I kind of like it. I like to see where they go with this. Getting upgrades.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, the mods, but I'm okay with it. I don't think it looks too out of place. And I guess I read enough of the Marvel comics, Star Wars comics to look at this and go, oh yeah, this would fit right in with the Marvel comic books.
Okay. All right. Here's Brian. In those double suns, the colors are going to fade fast. Oh,
that's so true.
That's true. Not to mention the sandblasting they're going to take from taking those scooters will be as muted as anything else on Tatooine.
Those are so good points. I like that.
Great points, Brian.
So what you're saying, Brian, is about a month's time, those speeders are done.
Right.
Okay. Then they'll fit in on Tatooine. Okay. I'm good with that. All right.
Could you imagine at night? So, man, we're going to have to get covers for these bikes or something. They'd have to wax them every day.
You ain't kidding. I can't see them doing that on Tatooine. Anyway.
No, they're too busy working for Boba Fett now.
And also the guy in the mod shop, I read somewhere that he's actually a music artist.
We saw that on Emergency Awesome too. He brought that up.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I'm not up on a lot of the current music, so
that's okay. He'd probably say the same thing too. Aren't you a little old to be in here?
Right, exactly. So, and from what I understand, the music that was playing is some of this guy's music too. So that was kind of cool. That's pretty neat. You're going to bring in a musician. Why not use a little bit of his music? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Right. Agreed. Yep. So I will say, I really enjoyed, that aspect of it because then we get to see how he helped Fennec Shan. And Fennec, what's interesting, he recognized who she was.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I liked how they brought out, there's some explosions going on over there, and so.
And did you catch when the explosions go off, we hear just a hint of Din Djarin's theme.
Yeah, the Mando theme. Yep. I did. I like that.
Just a nice hint to remind you this is all happening at the exact same time that Din Djarin is on the planet. So,
right.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. So I thought it was interesting how, he recognized who she was. He knew who she was, and that's why he saved her. You know what I mean?
You are Master Assassin Fennec Shan.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have tomorrow's voice.
That's all right. That's okay. Look, I don't think we have anybody's voices right now. Just saying.
Not even our own. Hey,
right.
Who are you?
Right. I will say that I am enjoying Fennec's character. in this series. I really am. In this episode, what made this episode so different for me was it's not that there's a life debt situation. See, I thought that's what was going on before, was kind of a life debt, kind of a thing.
You mean between Fennec and Boba?
And Boba, right. But no, what I really liked about it, she's making the choice to be a part of this.
Sure. Yeah.
And I like that. I like that it's her choice. And that gave more, here we go, gravitas to the character, I thought. Because, she's making the choice to hang out, to help, to be a part of this. And she doesn't have to, because he's saying, we're done. You've helped me out. You've paid off, kind of a thing. And boom.
Yep. And, I'll take you and drop you off wherever you want.
Yeah. She goes, I'll go along for the ride.
I think I'll stick around and see where you're going with all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Fennec Shan knows that, she knows a good thing when she sees it.
I think so. I think it's a good affirmation of what his plan is, to be this new crime boss, of how he's going to do crime. And I liked in this episode how they brought that up. He's saying, look, we got idiots who are always trying to get us killed.
Yes.
I thought, whoa. And so he's like, no, there's a better way to do these. So being someone who's been on the underside, coming up, as a bounty hunter, working for these guys and seeing how things are done, he's like, there's a better way to handle this kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, I like this. And so then we get to see the whole meeting with the crew. I don't know what else, all these mob bosses or the crime families of Mos Espa.
So you know what feeling I got when this scene came up? I thought back to 1989 Batman, the Joker meeting with all the crime bosses after he'd killed Boss Grissom.
Yes.
So if we can't get along, if we can't make a deal, we'll just shake hands and go about our ways. Really?
You were waiting for that moment, weren't you?
Really? Yeah. Yes.
We almost had that moment. Remember, because they were like, what's to keep us from just killing you?
Right. And then we had the Rancor claw come up. Oh, yeah. I loved it. And then Boba Fett feeds him.
Yep. So last episode, do you think this big battle, I'm sure there's going to be a big battle with the Pikes, the Pike Syndicate. You think we're going to see him riding on the Rancor?
Oh, I think by the final episode at some point, we're going to get him riding the Rancor. A couple wishes I have for this series. Okay. One, I still want to see the Rancor eat somebody.
Right.
We got to get that moment.
Uh-huh.
And now I want to see Boba Fett riding the Rancor, since that idea has been introduced in my head. And I want to see Bosk. And at some point, I would like to see Cad Bane. So those are some of my little wish lists for this season. I don't know if we're gonna get Cad Bane, but
I don't know. It's a tough call because, well, anything can happen. I mean, obviously, but you remember at the end of this episode, something like, he's got credits.
Oh no, let's save that.
All right, I'm just saying that just ties in with Cad Bane possibly. So
we'll save that. That ties in with somebody else, but we'll save that.
Right.
We'll save that.
You want to save that? Okay. All right.
I don't want to reveal that just yet. So
all right.
So yeah, I did want that moment of, oh, we got a live one here. Antoine got a little hotter around the collar.
Right.
You ever heard of the healing power of laughter? Sorry.
Right on. Everybody, that's a reference to Batman 89.
Mm-hmm.
So classic.
Yep. I love the Joker. So yeah, that would have been a great moment. But I liked what we got. I thought it was really good. So okay. Well, no, wait. We'll get into the next moment. So we have that moment. Then Boba Fett decides to go for a walk, ends up back at the cantina again, and we get Black Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. One of these days, I get his name right.
That's all right.
He's watching the Trandoshans. I loved it.
This was my second favorite part that I referenced earlier. The save.
Oh.
This is my other favorite part. Yes.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool when he just got angrier and angrier watching the Trandoshan.
Now, why was he getting so angry at them?
I think it's just the hatred between Wookiees and Trandoshans. They do not like each other
at all. So that's lore. They just don't like each other.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Okay.
And you know, then we see I love his brass knuckles.
The electric brass knuckles.
Oh, I love those. That is like one of the coolest Star Wars weapons ever now.
Yes.
So awesome. And they're just, I loved it.
Thanks, Matt. All right. So Matt's with us. Matt.
Yeah, Wookiee hunters.
They are Wookiee hunters.
Yep.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Yeah. Trandoshans, like I said, Trandoshans and Wookiees hate each other. They always have. That's huge Star Wars lore. So then we get the moment of him ripping the arms an arm.
Yeah,
I freaked out.
I love how they set it up. Matt says I freaked out when the arms got ripped out.
I knew as soon as he got up, somebody's losing their arm.
It was going to happen. Now here comes Jennifer Bill. Bill's in her character, and who's trying to talk him down, Black Chrysanthemum down. And I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna see it!" And then she comes in and she's sweet talking him. She's doing it, and she makes a good argument.
She's doing almost the Black Widow to Hulk thing.
Right. Sun's getting real low,
but it doesn't quite work.
No, I thought it was a great argument. She's sitting there saying, "You know what? You've run up a big tab. Why don't we just mark that off the books?" You know, kind of thing. I was like, okay, we're not going to get it. And then rip
off goes the arm. Absolutely loved it.
And then I love how he paid the other girl, one of the girls in the bar. He just pays her.
Right. Yeah. He grabs tokens from your poker chips from their table. And here you go. My bar tab's paid now.
Yeah. Bar tab paid. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I
would rather pay my bar tab and rip out his arms,
right,
than get a free tab.
But you know, the Trandoshans, they grow their arms back, so they're lizards and their appendages grow back. So
do they?
Yeah. That's also
okay. So it's not permanent damage.
I'm going to get into my problem with the Trandoshans here.
Okay. Hey, everybody, hold on tight. Here we go.
Hashtag Trandoshans cannot wear boots. Let's go back. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine to The Empire Strikes Back. When we see the bounty hunters all lined up on the Death Star Bridge. And we see Bosk and the Imperial the one Imperial
officer that was there turns and sees, and there's the
he makes the comment, bounty hunter scum, we don't need their kind. And then all of a sudden you hear Bosk growl, and then he looks up and you see the toe of Bosk, and he's got like a 3-clawed foot, you know. They don't wear boots.
Okay.
It drives me crazy. It's like, wait a minute. If you're gonna bring Bosk in, do not bring him in boots, because he doesn't wear boots. And I'm sorry, Trandoshans couldn't wear boots.
Okay. All right.
That's my beef. I was really upset with it. I'm like, come on, pay attention to details here. That's not what Trando. I've never seen him portrayed that way in the comic books. Anyway.
Okay. Matt's got a question for you.
Oh, yes, I do, Matt. Go ahead, put it up there.
Okay. Do you know
Do I know the Doctor Who connection between Bosk and Doctor Who? Yes, I do, Matt. The outfit that Bosk is wearing was an outfit that was actually used on the set of Doctor Who. Now I can't say which Doctor and which season. That I don't know for sure. I'm sure I've seen it because I've seen most all Doctor Who. So yeah, I've probably seen it. I just don't remember which Doctor it was. So yes, great nerdy callback though. Love it.
There's Matt Ambles yelling nerd, everybody.
And he's as much of a nerd as I am because he knew it too.
Yep. Just a real quick comment about this. Everybody, we try to put the comments on the screen, the ones that as we're talking through, but we try to verbalize them. And the reason so is because we also release these as our audio podcast as well. So, but if you're listening to the audio podcast, you can go check out our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and or our Twitch page. Well, Twitch only for a couple of weeks because Twitch only keeps them up for like 18 days or something like that.
But and Facebook and YouTube, you can watch them to your heart's content.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting, everybody, we get more views on Facebook than we do on YouTube. Which is kind of fascinating. So if you go to YouTube, you don't see like 2, 3, 10, maybe 20 views kind of a thing. That's because most of them are on Facebook.
But if you do watch us on YouTube, make sure to like and follow and all the normal stuff.
The like and subscribe and notification bells.
Give that bell a tickle.
That's right, by golly. All right.
So we did forget something. We jumped over.
Well, we're just talking about our favorite parts, though. We're not really walking through the episode today.
Okay. Well, we did jump over a favorite part of mine. We jumped over.
Okay, go ahead.
We jumped over Boba looking for his armor and destroying the Sarlaac pit.
Right.
That was amazing. It looked amazing. I loved it. Oh my gosh, that was so cool looking.
I liked
Slave One, and then it
tipped over
the
Sarlaac pit. Yeah.
And looking down into the Sarlaac pit. That was a cool shot.
That was scary. Scary. And then here's this flashlight, like you're in a horror movie and you're looking around with a flashlight. I was like, what?
Yeah, the jump scare got Brenda on that one.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I was like, well, jump scare's going to happen at some point. Wonder what it's going to be like, kind of a thing. So yeah.
That was cool. That was a great scene. So we found out that the Sarlaac wasn't quite dead yet. And then he finished it off with the sonic boom, the sonic blast, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, right. The seismic.
Yeah.
Seismic charge. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love the sound of it. Every time it pops, it's, and with my surround sound system, it go, it always sounds really good. So yeah,
such a good scene. Loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What does she say? What does Finnick say?
Fire in the hole.
So like, yeah. I loved it. I love that part.
Incredible. Oh my gosh, so good.
Now we saw something on Emergency Awesome earlier where he made a comment about that Sarlaac pit becomes the Crate Dragon's home or something to that effect, or where I guess he eats the Sarlaac and then takes over that cave thing or whatever he's in.
Well, the Sarlaacs create this cave system, which they kind of travel around, I guess. And so the Crate Dragon, now that the Sarlaac is dead, the Crate Dragon is now using that cave system that the Sarlaac created. At least that's the way I take it. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, there's another connection point to Mandalorian. So now with all these connection points, what are your thoughts about where we're headed? I'm going to the end of the episode thing because you wanted to hold off on it, and I can't wait anymore. I want to have this discussion.
All right.
I want to hear your thoughts. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by your thoughts.
Well, Fennec says, how much do we have in reserve? How much money do we have in reserve? And Boba's like, trust me, we have enough.
We have plenty of credits.
Meaning, I'm rich.
Right.
We have the whole Batman. So what's your superpower again? I'm rich.
Right.
Boba Fett's the same way,
Right.
He has all these cool gadgets, just like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the Force, and he's rich. So Boba Fett is essentially Batman.
I love it. I love it.
Right off the top of my head, by the way. No, so yeah, he assures her, yes, we have the money. And she says, and with money, we need to hire muscle. And then at that very moment, we get the Mandalorian theme music. Bam. Mando. They're going to hire Mando.
You think Din Djarin's going to come? Well, they've already met with him. They've already got to know him.
Yep.
So, yeah, good call. Good call.
Yep. Why else would they play? And they played his music twice. So we got the scene where, Fennec is recovering from the mod surgery. And then we see the flares go off, and we heard just a slight bit of Din Djarin's theme, of Mando's theme. And then at the very end of the episode, when she says we need to hire muscle, then all of a sudden we hear the Mando's theme. So we get that whistle, and yeah, I loved it. So yes, I think next episode Mando shows up. That's my prediction.
Very
this
interesting.
Episode 5.
5 is next week. So I think maybe if we see him, maybe at the end of the episode, because we're still setting up for the Pike.
Sure.
The Pike Syndicate battle, which, come on, how cool is this going to be? Boba Fett against the Pikes.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
I think it's not only going to be Boba Fett, but it's going to be Boba, it's going to be Fennec Shan, and it's going to be Mando. We're going to get all three of them fighting against the Pikes. So,
do you think we'll get some of the other Mandalorians
bounty hunters? I'm hoping we get Bosk. Of course, I don't know whose side Bosk will be on.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Bosk could end up being on the Pike's side. And honestly, I don't care where Bosk falls. I don't care if he's on Boba Fett's side. I don't care.
You just want to see him?
I just want to see him.
Yeah. Do you think we'll get what's her name? Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. I don't know. That's hard to say. I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
Well, we got to see him at the end of the last episode of The Mandalorian season 2.
Right.
The whole crew, for lack of a better term, there's a whole group of them. It'd be kind of cool if we got to see all them again.
Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. I don't know. And Matt just asked Darth Bane. Or not Darth Bane, but Cad Bane.
Cad Bane. I would love to see. I cannot wait to see a live action Cad Bane.
I like I said, Cad Bane is on my wish list for this series. I want to see Cad Bane. I just don't know if they've really set him up yet. I'm not sure it's happening. I want it to happen though. Yes. Oh my gosh, to get that big brimmed hat and I love his look. He is one of the coolest looking bounty hunters in the Star Wars galaxy.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see. I just don't know. I don't know if the setup's quite there for Cad Bane.
Cad Bane yet?
Yeah. Not yet. But that's not to say that he couldn't come in on the season finale though.
When's my brain went to Cad Bane, then it went to Thrawn. Because we're going to get live action Thrawn, we know. That's an Ahsoka series, right?
Yes.
Do we know when that is? Is that this year or next year?
I think it's this year, but I don't know if we've gotten a date yet. So we'll have to wait and see.
Again, I'm pumped for that actor who's going to play him. Lars Nicholson. Yeah. I'm excited to see that because, I just loved him in Sherlock. When he was in Sherlock and played that guy, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to make a great Thrawn. And he's been doing the voice of Thrawn, right?
Yes.
He did the voice of Thrawn. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
So Matt says it's coming after Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't think we're getting Obi-Wan until the fall. I don't know. And then the question is, when does season 3 of Mando? I think is that Christmas time? When we get season 3 of Mando?
Who knows? All I know, I don't know. There's just a lot of great Disney Plus stuff coming.
Well, yeah, and then on the Marvel side of Disney Plus, I'm looking forward to Moon Knight. Moon Knight looks great.
I'm geeking out about that.
Oh, that's a good call. Oh, see what Matt said? Calling Obi-Wan on May 4th.
Okay, mark Matt's words.
Yeah,
Mark said it here first on Two Geeks in a Microphone show.
I don't know, that could be a good call. I like that idea. That would be a great May the 4th gift.
Right.
Obi-Wan.
That would be good. So yes. So, all right, but back to Star Wars. Well, I mean, Obi-Wan, but back to our episode on Boba Fett. So, anything else you really, really liked in this episode?
Well, like I said, my highlights from this episode was, of course, Slave One, Slave One, and Slave One.
Right.
And then I love the black
Chrysanthemum.
I love his appearance. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him because he's going to be part of the crew for the battle.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, he was already there, standing behind the table with all the crime lords and everything.
That's right.
Which he looked fantastic. Man, I want a freaking action figure of him.
Right. I'm sure it's coming. That'd be good. All right. What else did you like?
And I liked the mods. I thought it was interesting. I liked the scene, exactly what happened with Fennec Shan. Because I remember when we got that scene in Mandalorian when she kind of shows the mechanics and stuff, and you're like, what happened there?
We found out. Yeah.
So we got the behind the story with that. I thought that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that.
Right.
But again, my big thing was Slave One.
Right on.
I can't say it enough. I mean, the scenes with Slave One look beautiful. Seeing that ship, I love that ship. That and the Millennium Falcon are my two favorite ships from all Star Wars. So
I will say one of my favorite scenes of this episode was when he came down on those bikers.
Oh my God!
Slave One just flying down and just.
Oh yeah. We completely forgot about that. So to me, that was the scene. That was the best scene of this whole
episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching him fly in and just take out the bikers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Matt, you're funny.
Matt what is the Slave One you speak of? Oh, he's goating you.
It's the real name of the ship. The fire spray is just the make of the ship that Boba Fett pilots, and that would just be like calling the Millennium Falcon a YT something freighter, which no one would ever do. Yeah, right. I'm not going to get into. You're not going to get me, Matt. I'm not going to get into it. I just don't like the fact that Disney has taken away the Slave One name, and I refuse to call it anything else. It is a Slave One.
Well, I think it's our own headcanon. Remember, this is original headcanon. This is what it was called. I was continuing with it. No big deal.
Well, yep, it's Slave One. Everything I've ever bought with it on it has Slave. It says Slave One, so it's Slave One.
Right. Instead of Boba Fett ship.
Which ship is
right. Matt says he agrees. So, all right. So, best scene, you like the whole scene where the Slave One's coming down on the blowing up the guys on the bikes.
Yes, definitely. that scene is worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah.
So just seeing the Slave One in all its glory, flying down, using the lasers, and just taking out those Nikto bikers, I absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I think.
I did also like the scene with him and Fennec Shand with the campfire and just the Slave One in the background. It was just a beautiful, beautiful scene.
Nice. Here's the thing. The aspect of him shooting the guys on the bikes, the speeder bikes and stuff. Here's my thoughts about that. It shows he can be ruthless.
It's Boba Fett.
It's Boba Fett. And I was glad we saw it. That when the time comes and he needs to be ruthless, or really that was revenge. I mean, that was total revenge. And we, as viewers of the show, we got, for me personally, I got connected with the story of the Tuscan Raiders. Oh my goodness, you softened the Tuscan Raiders. I like the Tuscan Raiders now. We kind of talked about that last week. And I will say that this week there was something satisfying. They're getting their comeuppance.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree. That was a very satisfying scene. Yes. Totally agree. 100%.
In all openness, I think there's something within us that seeks justice. We have justice when, to see things right. And whether or not, how we may determine what justice may or may not be or whatever, it was still good to see them get their comeuppance for what they did. Matt says it was his Boba Fett, Anakin moment.
Kinda, yeah.
I can see that. I can see what you mean by that.
I guess so. I mean, Anakin killed all the Tuscans in that particular tribe. And I get it. I get why he did it, because, they tortured and killed his mother. It was that's a tough scene. That is a really, really tough scene when he comes back to Padme and says, I killed them all. The women, the children, I hate them. They're animals.
Right.
It's a tough scene. So I totally get it. But I don't know. There was something about this scene that was just a little more satisfying. And I think it's because with that scene, you were seeing Anakin turn into Vader at that point. That
your
is his
hero
moment.
Was becoming dark. You're seeing the fall of your hero, and that was a struggle.
And not to say that he didn't have a good reason for that. I think he did. It's just there's a difference in his mentality and Boba Fett's mentality, I think.
Here, your hero had a tragedy, and you're seeing him get the vengeance of that tragedy.
Right.
Oh man, we're going back to Empire Strikes Back with Obi-Wan Kenobi,
the greatest Star Wars movie of all time.
Right? Yeah. If people can listen to us argue on our top 5, or our top 5 Star Wars movies and stuff, and us argue about that. But what does he say? From a certain point of view, that whole perspective, and I think that's what we're having here. The perspective of Anakin was the perspective of, here's my hero who is falling, but here it's my hero who is getting vengeance for justice that was done against him. In other words, we're seeing the revenge of Boba Fett versus a taking of revenge by Anakin. Anakin's was dark. Listen to me try to justify why I like this so much more. And I felt a certain amount of satisfaction.
You're trying to justify a killing.
Oh, Lord help
and
me.
Ultimately they are kind of the same, But yeah, I think the motives are different. I think the motives are a lot different. So yeah, I think you have Anakin is descending into darkness, where in a way Boba Fett is ascending to lightness.
No, I don't know. He's already dark. He was already dark. But he was already ruthless.
Boba's nowhere near as dark in this series as any of us ever imagined him to be. We all imagined him as the fearless, the greatest bounty hunter, the man with no fear. you know, that type of thing. You know, he's the one who stood up to Darth Vader. That's one of the legends of Boba Fett. You know, that makes him fearless is that he stood up to Darth Vader and nobody else would do that. So, but we're seeing a different Boba Fett here. You know, he's talking about not ruling out of fear, but ruling out of respect. There's a different attitude to him. So I think the motive's different, but no, that was a good thing to bring up. That was really good. I like that. So,
yep. Made me think, made me try to justify why I liked one over the other. Yeah, that killing was okay. That other killing, that was Anakin's killing was not okay, but this okay was a killing. But no, they are similar. Good call.
Yeah,
Matt. Now I got to think about that all day long.
Boy, that's almost like one that Aaron would have brought up.
Right. Yeah, our friend Aaron McCoy from Geek with a Bible. That's a good philosophical statement right there.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
All right. Let me ask you something. This is something that has come to me after the episode. Remember the first episode where Boba Fett and Fennec are surrounded by the street assassins, and they've got those shields and stuff and all that?
Oh my gosh, are you going to ask what I think you're going to ask?
Well, you know, we went back to the Sarlaac pit. My brain went back to, well, how did he get in the Sarlaac pit? And that was because Han Solo hit his jetpack. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why didn't he just use his jetpack on the street? Kind of a thing. So sorry, that's where my brain went.
Did you see a meme with that on it? Because I saw a meme. I saw a meme earlier this week with that on it.
Oh, did you?
I went, huh. Yeah, I didn't think about that when it was happening.
That's funny.
My only thought is Fennec Shand doesn't have one.
Oh, and he's staying by her side. Good call. Right. Okay, I like that.
He's not going to leave Fennec Shand behind.
Right.
You know, that's not who he is. So that's my only way I can reason with.
I figured he would just use the jetpack to jump out of the circle and then start fighting. But
well, yeah, that would make sense. I agree. But the only way I can justify it in my head is no, he's going to stay by Fennec Shand's side.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can justify it.
Well, that's kind of like in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I like what Matt just said too here.
Oh, what do you say?
He's also a fighter. He doesn't run.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say he was going to run. I just figured he would probably. You were figuring
he'd fly up and then he'd just start taking them out.
Yeah.
Which I think that would make sense too. That would work too. Yeah, I saw a meme earlier this week on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, dang it!"
That's funny.
I hate it when logic gets in the way.
Right. Well,
and it actually makes sense.
Sorry for bringing it up. Sorry, not really.
That's a great point. It was funny. I liked it.
You know.
So
well,
I'm going to justify it in my head, like Matt says. He's a fighter. He doesn't run, and he's not going to run. He's not going to leave Fennec Shand behind.
Yeah.
So those are my justifications. It's the only other thing I can come up with.
Agreed.
Other than that, ask Filoni or Favreau.
Right.
Because I think Favreau wrote the episode. So.
Well, that speaks to what I got to say it again, you know, these little moments and stuff, but that speaks to the whole thing with zippers on costumes that Paul Bateman brought that up, which I loved.
Well, and would you rather see Boba Fett fight, or would you rather see him just, you know, cheat and fly out up in the sky? I mean, at the end of the day, we want to fight. So
yeah, good call. Yeah. Good call. I like that. So
it's all what looks better on screen.
Yeah, it's much more betterer.
It's much more better.
We got it in.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There we go. Well, hey everybody, we just finished talking about the latest episode of Book of Boba Fett, episode number 4. You enjoyed it. It was good. I didn't like it as much as episode 3, but I also understand we're transitioning into now present day. Well, when we say present day in the story, no more flashbacks, and moving on with who he is in his adventures and all. That's how I view this whole Book of Boba Fett, or the Adventures of Boba Fett. And
are you going to miss the fast flashbacks?
Nope.
I'm going to miss it a little bit.
Are you?
Yeah. I enjoyed that aspect. I enjoyed the back and forth, seeing what had happened before versus what's happening now. I like that, but some of the books I've read do that too, and I enjoy that. And I know a lot of people that read the books, they don't like the whole jumping back and forth thing, because they say it gets confusing. But I think if there's a good transition between the two, which I think they did a great transition in this series with the whole back to tank and everything.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
it worked. It worked for me personally.
Yeah, it was a terrific vehicle for delivering that type of story.
So Matt says no flashbacks. They're done. No more tank. He is healed. They make that comment that he's healed, and I thought that was the thing to say. Hey, no more flashbacks.
Yeah. I loved when Fennec goes, "What about the scars on the inside?" Thought that was a good line. Sarlaac soup. There goes the spoiler.
Whoops, sorry. I did put that in the description. Wah wah.
Well, Gerald, that was Gerald commenting there, and sorry, Gerald. That's all
I guess I need to edit that.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. All right. Well, it's been a great episode.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, the episode came out Wednesday. It's Saturday, so you've had plenty of time to watch it.
Right.
Stop.
We'll give you 3 days.
Stop whining. I don't do a good Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, so stop whining.
It's not Automa.
It's not Automa.
Yeah. I love Arnold. That's funny. Back to the chopper.
All right, we're not going into Arnold movies.
Right. All right. Well, with that said, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a good discussion on the latest episode of Boba Fett. I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. I'm enjoying the series. I'm liking it a lot. And so it should be really interesting to see where we go from here. And so
yeah, like I said, I want to see Bosk with no boots. I want to see him in his full 3-toed glory. Or I think it's 3 toes. I think you're right. I want to see the Mando come into this, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get next week at some point. I would love to see Cad Bane come into this. I'm just not convinced it's going to happen yet. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Excellent. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Looking forward to more discussions about Boba Fett. Excuse me. And thanks for hanging in there with Mike and I as we've been sick and still here, dedicated, motivated to be here with you.
Total nerds.
Right. That's right. Go nerds. So we love it. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. And with that, Mike, I'll leave that to you to sign us off.
All right. With that said, over and out, and may the force be with you. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,